Good day, everyone. Well, I'm going to share some of my thoughts on Bitcoin. I'm in shorts looking for lower for swing longs. And there's two scenarios that I'm looking at. One around between 95 97K and the other down towards sub 90K. We'll talk about those. But what I'll say is I'm absolutely killing this price action. Shorts from here, profits, longs, profits, Pico top short, profits, longs, shorts. So no matter what happens, it's really irrelevant to me. Just in this, not in just the sense that, a trader can't care because they don't control price action, but just because I'm winning massively no matter what here. There's a massive difference. I've shared this harmonic idea and I shared it in the, let me go over to, I shared it on Twitter and obviously in the Discord. Some people liked it, some people didn't. But, up at the time when we're testing the 886, that was the major idea I've been trading around. But it's not the only trade I took. This is the high time frame channel in the members Discord. But this is me talking about this 886 Gartley idea when we were at the 886. So I'm going to zoom through the Discord updates here. And if you're interested, you can pause and read them. But the point is, shorts basically just killing this price action here. There was even so maybe I'll just kind of like to give you a frame of reference. Try to remember these few phrases, okay? 886, that's the idea of one trade. This retest here, long. There was an intermediary trade I didn't take, but I did share it, would have printed. Let's just call this the low time frame sweep SR. Weekend range, 786. So 886, 786, LTF, SR flip. That's price essentially doing this. We go to the lower time frame. I'll clean it up a little bit. I'm doing this for the people that just want to pause and read through the updates as I scroll through them, but because I'm not going to go over every trade. So 886, sweep, SR. This take profits, long, weekend range, 786, range. Took a long here. Ideas of adding back to short sweeping these highs. All right. I did do that, by the way. Woke up in the middle of the night, a little bit hungover. Just did it from my phone. I did not update in the Discord, but I talked about the idea a lot. Okay, so let's go into the Discord here. And just what I want to make clear is that, well, it might seem scary to be taking shorts up here. That's where you want to take them. If you're not an experienced trader, even the people who tried, the only real update I gave on this idea in terms of positioning was the short up here at the 886. Many people are just going to round trip that whole short, stop out, probably get FOMO'd into longs. And even though this held as a Pico high, without the experience to trade it, they're probably getting wrecked anyways. Anyway, so we're not going to go, you can read it. 886 tapped, haven't added, still carrying partial. I took a partial, looking to add, getting to the 15-second charts. This ends up being a Pico high for a local range on the 15-second chart, adding there on the 15-second, blah, blah, blah. Just giving updates. Bearish divergences forming up at the highs at the 886 before that first sell-off at that pivot high. I'm sleeping on the short because I'm getting everything I want. Bearishness. I share the SR flip, sweep SR flip idea, low time frame. I'm not saying limits there, but if I'm around, I'll trade it. I wasn't around, but we got the perfect reaction. I said I'd be looking to take profits there. That's the SR that we rejected off of. I said I'd be looking to take profits because for bear scenarios, that's what you're looking for. This is the low time frame channel, by the way. That's why there's so many low time frame updates. It doesn't mean I'm only trading low time frames, but sometimes I'll be looking at the low time frames at key levels. Price coming down into here. We got this level. So I take profits on this 886 short. That's the 886. This is the 4-hour chart now. Looking for this idea for potential long setup. Although I'd like to carry some of this deeper. If we just nuke, I'm not going to get too greedy with the take profits because probably more likely we get some bounces here. So I took profits on my short and I took the long off of that idea. All right, so long holds up. We start printing. I end up closing into the weekend range. I'm not going to be around into into the weekend. So happy to have taken profits on my shorts, taken the long. I want to add back to my shorts. I initially had an idea of adding here, didn't quite like it in the end, liked the 786 better, explained why. As price came up into the level, I explained why I wasn't shorting here and just looking for a push up to the 786. We push up into the 786. I explained I haven't entered yet, but what I need to enter, I won't enter if we just blast through. End up being a little patient here on the low time frames and getting an absolutely pico top entry on my short. A little bit of memeing here, just saying I'm just waiting for something here that I'd really like to just snap into that short position. Even here, we front ran this idea. This all would have held. I could have entered here. I didn't decide to wait and end up getting the pico top short here. All right, so that's this. Got to kind of zoom out because we're in the low time frames here, but this is the pico top short that I ended up in at the 786. So I got the 886 short, the 786 short, and beautiful. Price goes straight down. Can't complain. I mean, 1 minute chart's literally just going straight down. Long story short, take profits on that position and looking for long setups into forming this little range that we formed, right? I want to maybe push up into these highs. Got a couple ideas here. Got front run on that position, just along up to the highs of the range. So I ended up actually taking this long setup, which held up nicely. It's essentially a 5-hour trade, running up into the range highs, sweeping up into these highs, something like this, 106,400, or I'd like to add back to my shorts. Explain that in the high time frame channel as well. Just giving the recap of, although it can seem, it seems like, you have this idea at the 886, but you're taking all these trades. Well, it's all the same idea, right? It's short, but I want to, how much easier is it to keep trading towards this idea when you've taken a short, you've taken profits, you've taken a long, you've taken profits, you've taken another short, you've taken profits, and you've taken a long, you've taken profits, and then you've taken another short. So adding back to shorts is, again, still trading the first idea. It's all the first idea. It's just, instead of holding one position, I have multiple winning positions. I have a bigger position than had I just held the first one with profits taken, because I'm trading the intermediary price action, and I'm happen to just absolutely crush it, right? And so it just makes everything so much easier in terms of trading this when that is the case, right? So anyways, what I want to say about the Discord is it isn't, although I share all the trades I take, the trading plans, the charts, I go into the low time frames. I look at order flow. I say, hey, this is why I'm taking the trade. I'm waiting. I entered right here. I don't consider it a copy trading signals Discord. It's, how else am I meant to teach a concept if I don't explain it? I've been doing this week after week, month after month, year after year, consistently printing in so many market conditions. Does not mean I win every trade, right? But hey, you lose a trade, you win 5 in a row. It all works out pretty well. And this next trade might not work, but I'm coming into it in a beautiful position, right? But this Discord, what I want to, for anyone who's going to join, and I'll just say this, if you're serious about trading, there's no better place for you to be. That's my opinion. And maybe I'll even ask if some of the members here are willing just to share their experience here in the comment of this video, then I'd appreciate it. But anyways, there's so much more here in the Discord. There's videos covering all of these concepts, 10, 15-minute videos, risk management, psychology, hedging, all these ideas that you really need to understand. There's some of this quizzes and big write-ups on different concepts, videos explaining different concepts. And this is all such important stuff to go through and understand. I mean, it's essentially like a book, right? Start from the top and just read down, understanding different concepts and how to manage positions and things like that. Lots of educational content categorized here as well under different headings. Click it, you can watch videos and read write-ups and whatever. And then there's a bot now that's trained on all of this that you can just, it will direct you to different content, answer questions. It's very, very good. It's trained on like 50,000 of my updates, right? I have 70,000 updates in the Discord. And the thing is, I write very long explanations of all my trades, right? So again, it's not so you can copy trade, but so you can understand these positions. Frankly, a lot of people do copy trade me, and but I mean, I copy trade people if I see an idea I like and I understand, right? So for me, it's not about signals. It's not about saying long here, trust me. I mean, trades don't work. You have invalidation. You have appropriate sizing. But I mean, what? I don't know. I'll say this. This is what I'll kind of end on before I get back to the live chart. Some of you guys need to work harder. I mean, in the Discord, I do a lot of the work for people. That's how I feel. There's so much value to where somebody who's busy can basically have everything laid out and just be learning through the proxy of reading all of this stuff and understanding these concepts. But I'm one person live trading every single day, doing write-ups on all these trades, building out an entire framework of all this other content that is so important for any trader to know and understand to succeed and become an independent, consistent, profitable trader. And it's it's all coming from one person, right? And I often am shocked at how little work ethic I see from anyone. And what happens is I always get comments from members, some who've been here for years, like they're so impressed by how consistent my work ethic is, how I work so hard every day, and they don't understand why I work so hard. Well, the truth is you have to work hard. You have to work hard to do well at trading. And many of you watching this video will have been completely annihilated by this price action. And then there's people like me who are printing here, right? So, and there's just something amazing about being in a position here where there's no better risk management than winning, right? Second best is proper position sizing and in validation. The best risk management is just winning. And there's something it does for your psychology too. When you've shorted, you've won, you've longed, you've won, you've shorted, you've won, you've longed, you've won, you've shorted, you've won. And when price is coming down to here, it's like you really don't care, because if price comes down to here, that means your shorts are even printing more. And you just put on a bit of risk, and the long either works or it doesn't matter. You move on to the next trade. And you start to realize that, I don't have to get scared. I can just take profits, find new setups, take shorts. If it doesn't work, I'll take another setup somewhere else. I'll take a long. And you start getting into this rhythm, right? This rhythm of winning, loss, winning, loss, winning, loss, winning. But you start to understand price action, and there's no more anxiety or fear with the chart. All right, so there's opportunities every day. I'm in here laying it all out for you guys. If you want to improve as a trader, you should probably be in the Discord. But anyways, hope you guys are all doing well. Let's talk about the levels to the downside. Well, I shared those harmonic ideas. I mean, right now, just mostly interested in this Gartley idea. I was interested in this whole retest of this region, POC, this high, back here. I said, if we break up out of this level, well, for the bullish continuation ideas, it's going to be, for me, a retest of this. We have some nice low time frame structure in here to test. If we get a big wick to the downside here, let me delete this and this. If we get a big wick to the downside here, I'm just going to scale in with a bit of a wider invalidation. I'm going to, listen, price is here. There are people watching this video, and price could do this, it could do this, it could do this, it could do this. And they're going to not understand enough about all the other concepts at play here to understand that I'm not talking about the exact price that's going to come. I'm going to be watching what's happening here and making a decision, right? Do I really have to plan out the exact trade I'm going to take now? No, I should have a general idea. If we get a big wick here, then I'm probably just going to take a wide position. And if we start ranging and get some of this, I might hone up that position. There's two main ideas I'm looking at. One is basically into this, let's call it 95.5 to 97K region. I really like to come down into this POC. But this is the reach I'm going to start scaling into. And if I start getting a range with bullish divergences, I might snipe something a little tighter here. And I'm trading to all-time highs and beyond. Now people are going to be saying, well, what are your targets? I mean, the big bullish targets are 200K plus, but again, I get to look at what's happening here. It's kind of like this short here. Yeah, I took this short. I could have just held one trade and done nothing else, but I took profits. I took longs. I get to look at the charts every day, and so, you know, I'm planning on trading this well, and if it doesn't work, that's, you know, part of that is invalidation of risk management. The other idea is, you know, more weakness, and we come and run these lows, and that'll be another setup I'd be willing to trade. So anyways, very likely I end up in a long here. I don't really care if it works or not, because at this point my shorts have printed so much that I'm just happy that price came down here. And even now I don't care if price goes straight up, because I've captured so much value out of all this price action that it's all irrelevant to me now. Just keep an eye on what's going on. I personally wouldn't open a short here. You know, we're taking this low, either get some weakness or not coming into the weekend. We'll see. Certainly keep ranging here, and you know, maybe get something like that. But those are my thoughts. Hope you all are doing well. I've been pretty happy with how I've been trading this.